Today we're talking about circles and how to write an equation of a circle. Okay? A circle is a set of all points in a plane that are equidistant. What do you think equidistant means? Yeah.
Midway.
And this is an actual word, which does mean someone said equal distance. Okay? But it's equidistant from a given point in the plane called the center. So in a circle, all points are evenly distributed around. They're all equal distant or equidistant around the circle. Okay. A radius is any segment whose endpoints are the center and a point on the circle. All of this should make sense since you guys took geometry last year. Okay. You don't remember? Yeah. Geometry was my favorite. Okay. All right. The equation, no, geometry was not my favorite. Algebra was my favorite. Or algebra 2. Algebra in general. Okay. All right. The equation of a circle in descriptive or vertex form is written like this. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Now, some of this should look a little familiar from yesterday because we're seeing those same letters, H and K, come up again. Okay? H and K yesterday gave us our vertex. Okay? Today, we don't have a vertex because we have a circle. Okay? So what do you think that H and K are going to represent? The center. Okay? So just like yesterday, remember whatever is in parentheses, when it comes out, it is the opposite. Same thing with the center of a circle. See how this h value is in a parentheses? So right now it's negative h. When it comes out, it's going to be a positive h. Okay? The y value, and notice the x value of the vertex is with the x. The y value of the vertex is with the y. And same thing, this one here is in parentheses, and when it comes out, it's going to change from negative k to positive k. And so that is my center of the circle. Your radius, if you look at this equation, your radius here is r squared. Okay? Well, the radius is not r squared, it is just r. Chris, sit up, please. We're taking notes. You want to get those out and do that with us. Okay. Example 1, it says, give the center and radius of the circle and then graph. Now, on this first problem here, what is with the x? Just the squared. There's no number being added or subtracted there. So what value is the x value of the center? 0. Because I could rewrite this as x plus 0 squared plus y plus 0 squared equals 36. Because x plus 0 is just... No, x plus 0 is just x. So x plus 0 squared, Michael, is the same thing as x squared. Okay? They mean the same thing. So that is why my center is what? 0, 0 is correct. Now, my radius, we know that this end number is actually r squared. So I'm going to write an equation. R squared equals 36, and I need to solve for just r. Well, how do I find the answer for just r? Very good. We're going to square root both sides. Do you think I'm going to have a negative value for my radius? No, never. So the square root of 36 is going to be 6. So my r is 6. Okay, so now we're going to graph it. You always want to start at your center. So in this case, my center is at 0, 0. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to end up making 4 more points, and you're going to go out 6 going each direction from the center. So from here, I'm going to go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll go down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to go right and left 6. Okay? And then we are going to make a circle. And by having those 4 points, it's going to help us to make a more accurate circle.
Wait, for this one, do you have to do like the
Oops.
A, B?
What? Nope.
You don't do that.
No. Okay. Questions on example 1 before we move on to example 2? Okay. What? Minus a square?
Mine's like a rounded.
Yeah, well, you're just going to try to do your best. Okay. All right, example 2. I think you guys can actually maybe do this on your own. Do you guys think you can do it on your own?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I have another question.
Ask me.
When it's like, so like y plus 4, would that be negative? Or, so every time you pull it out, it's going to be the opposite?
Exactly. Very good. Okay, I should see everyone trying this one on their own. Not talking about it, doing it. I know, so show me. Mr. Smarty Pants.
No, the radius already. Radius 4.
Square equals 16. Your center would be negative 4.
Chris, you still have to do work even if it's your birthday. And you have the wrong answer on these. This is 6. Remember, it's always the square root. Come on, you can do it. I forgot that I have that t-shirt, and I like that t-shirt.
You should wear it.
I know. I think I'll wear it on Friday. I just forgot about it. Okay.
I'll wash it. I'll wear it on Friday.
Okay, we can be twins. Okay. Friday is Wolfpack Day. Anybody that's wearing their Wolfpack shirt
Yeah, wear it on Friday.
is cool. Just
I
kidding.
don't know what my shirt is.
Guess you're not going to be in the cool crowd that day. Okay. All right. So your center is what? It is 3 comma negative 4. Okay. You could set each of these equal to 0 and solve. Shh. When I start talking, you're quiet. Okay. Or you just know that it's always going to be the opposite of what's in the parentheses. Remember, this value right here is actually r squared. R squared equals 16. So we take the square root of both sides and we get r equals 4. Okay, so this one's a little different because my center is not at 0, 0. So we're going to go over 3, 1, 2, 3, and down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, make a point. This is my center. So from this point right here, I have to go 4 in each direction. Okay? So I'm going up 4, which is pretty easy, and then down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and right 4, and left 4. Okay? And then we can hopefully draw our circle. Okay? Questions? Okay, example 3 is just asking you to give the center and the radius, but I'll talk about how you would graph this as well. Okay, for some of you that this might be confusing at times. So what would my center be for the x part of my center? Very good, 0, and then the y value is negative 3. Again, on this one, r squared equals 1 over 25. So what do I do in order to get r by itself? Square root both sides. Now remember, when you're square rooting this side, it's the square root of 1 over the square root of 25. What is the square root of 1? 1, and the square root of 25 is 5. So that's 1/5. Okay, if you were graphing this one, okay, I'd go 0 and down 3 and make a point. 1/5 is not 1, right? It's like a fraction of 1, right? So you're just going a little bit like this in each direction. And you just like make a circle that doesn't quite go to any of the points. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, moving on. Okay, if you go back to the equation, okay, and I want you to look at this right here. Okay, see how this line is written? Okay, or this equation, not line, the circle's written. If you go back here, were there any values in front? No. On circles, you cannot have values in front of those. So what would be a way that I could get rid of those values? Not distribute. Divide everything by that value. So we are dividing everything by 2. Okay? So when I do that here, these 2's cancel, these 2's cancel. And so I have x minus 3 squared plus y squared equals 16. Okay, so what is my center on this problem? Very good. 3, 0 is correct. And then how do I find my radius? R squared equals 16. So we take the square root of both sides, and R equals 4. Okay, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to try number 5 on your own. Just leave it in root form. Okay, so what's the first thing you're doing? Good, we're dividing everything by 4. Okay, so I end up getting x squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 6. So my center is what? 0, negative 3 is correct. My radius, remember that this is r squared. So r squared equals 6. How do I get r by itself? Square root both sides, so I get r equals the square root of 6 because I can't break that down any further. So the radius is the square root of 6. Now, if you were actually graphing this, you would want to get the decimal for root 6. So you could plug it into your calculator and get 2 point whatever and then go from there. Okay? All right. 6 now, they're wanting you to go backwards. They are telling you, here is your center, here is your radius, give me the equation. Okay? So, for the x value of the vertex, since this is a positive 3, when I write it, I'm going to write it as x what? Minus 3, and then it needs to be squared. Plus, for my y, since this is a positive 4, it's going to be y minus 4 squared. And this is my radius. In order to get the number at the end, what do I need to do to that? Square this. Okay, and 6 squared is 36. And you could always go backwards to like double check that you did it correctly, like pulling them out and seeing if you get the same center and square rooting to make sure you get the same radius. And that is your answer. Okay, I'm going to give you now about 30 seconds to try 7 on your own. And if you have time, you could actually write it on your whiteboard and show me.
I just showed you
Actually, I didn't really see the whole thing. I meant yes, you could show me, but that's okay. That's good. Okay, so what is my first? It's going to be x what? X minus 2 squared plus my y part's going to be y plus 1 squared equals, and when I square root 3, what do I get? 3. There's my answer. Okay, example 8. I'm going to write this as what? The x part is going to be? Good. Plus y squared. Good, because it's 0. So it's just y squared. You guys are so smart. Equals
12.
it is 12. For root 9, what's the square root of 9? Okay? So when you're doing this, you have to square the 2 and the root 3. So 2 squared is 4, and root 3 squared will make 3. Or it can be 4 times root 9, but the square root of 9 is 3, right? And then 4 times 3 makes 12. So that is my equation. Okay, questions? Okay, now for the fun part. It's actually not hard, but fun. If you like math. Okay. Write an equation of a circle that would result if this circle is translated 2 units down and 3 units right. Okay, so what we need to do is start right here and figure out what is my center and what is my radius. So what is my center on example 9? 0, 0, and what is my radius? 3. Okay, what I would do is I would just go onto my graph because the radius is not going to change. The only thing that's changing is they're shifting that circle somewhere else, okay, on the graph. So right now it's starting on the graph at 0, 0. Do we all agree with that? Okay, so I always like to draw a picture because I think it's easier to understand what's happening if you have a picture than to try to just do it without a picture. Okay, so this says 2 units down. So from this point I'm going 2 units down and 3 units right. 2 down, 3 right. There is my new center. So what is this value for this new center? 3, negative 2. So what you're doing is this equation is staying the same with the equals 9 because it still has the same radius, but your values in here are going to change because it shifted this circle. Okay? So how do you think I'm going to write this new equation?
X minus 3 squared plus x plus 2.
Y
Or y plus 2.
squared equals 9. And that is the correct answer. Okay, you guys think you can try 10? How about if you get this one right, you can get an extra cookie, the first 3 people.
Got it.
Hey, yours make me, oh my gosh.
Okay, Tu Cheng, you have it?
No, I don't want to.
But I can still check you if you're right.
Alright, yeah, I want
I
to
think I need you to show me like on whiteboard, so,
Right.
because it's hard to move around. No.
Right here, don't want us. Boston.
Close, but no.
It's right.
No, no. Oh my goodness, this actually is good. No, no, no.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait.
X plus 1 X dang it. So
No.
that right around.
Yeah, yeah.
Woo! I get a cookie,
No.
guys.
Sorry, you got it. No. Nope. No. You're close though. No. Nope.
I guess
No.
I got a cookie, dude.
No.
I got a cookie, dude.
You were super close.
Yeah.
Close, but no. Close.
Oh, wait.
Close. No. Well, halfway. Half right.
You said what?
Oh, my hand.
I don't want to. I do. Is that right or what? No, you're wrong.
Oh,
Come on,
yes.
dude.
Now what's that equation?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
X
That's
plus
not right
1
though.
Y plus 1.
You know what? I have it written incorrect on my answer key right now.
What? Am I wrong?
So some of you were actually right. In fact,
right.
you were right, Ureli.
Yeah.
I guess
No.
I'm wrong then. I was right.
But some of, I can't remember what your answers were. No.
Do I step
Yes,
in
you're
the
right.
cookie?
Okay, so Ureli and Chris, you can, yeah, because, yeah, that's right. That's right now. Okay. So, on this one, what is my center right now? Negative 3, positive 2. What is my radius on this one? Okay, which really the radius doesn't matter. So we're writing our original center. Negative 3, positive 2, and making a point. So this one now says, that's your original. Okay? Now it says, is translated 1 unit down, so 1 unit down, and 4 units right. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is that new center? 1, 1. So we're taking this new center value and plugging it into this equation. So that means that I'm going to have x minus 1 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 9. Did you have it? Okay, yeah, because I had it written wrong on here. Okay, So yes, you can, what? So Mia, you can have, Mia gets one, Ureli gets one. That wasn't your original first answer, or was it, Chris? Gur can still have one. I can't remember. You had it?
Oh, to change it.
Oh.
I had it.
No, you did not. Okay. I think those, and Josh, I think I said that you had it. Okay. So in a minute, you guys can come get one. Okay. Example 10.
You know, Jay with me?
Identify the following as a circle, a parabola, or neither. Okay. Circle, parabola, or neither. There's something for you to think about in these problems. Okay? The first thing is that a parabola has how many squared terms? We talked about this yesterday. One squared term. But in this case, in a circle, how many squared terms does it have? Two. Okay? That should be your major clue here to decide which one is which. Uh-huh. So what is A? Parabola. What is B? Very good. Neither. It's actually a line, but they didn't ask for lines. They just want parabola or circle. And the last one is a circle. What would you have to do, though, on C in order to get in the right form?
Divided by 7.
You guys are so smart.
We all should